Quick update, ladies and gentlemen. Union Home Minister Amit Shah has touched down in Jammu. He's left, not just reached the airport in Jammu, but technical airport in Jammu, but there he is at the airport where he's welcomed with a lot of fanfare and of course a lot of expectation and love and regard. You have the Honorable LG Manoj Sinhaji, who's there to greet him at Jammu. He has already reached Raj Bhavan. We are given to understand these are visuals coming in from Raj Bhavan, where he's, after touching down at the Jammu airport, he was received by the Honorable LG, and you also have the MOS PMO Dr. Jitendra Singh also with him as he's reached Jammu. Udhampur is Dr. Jitendra Singh's constituency. At 11 a.m. tomorrow, the Union Home Minister Amit Shah will be addressing a massive public rally in Rajouri. And this will be the beginning of his 3-day visit. He's there tonight. There will be a lot of conversations that will happen. He is undertaking, he'll also be going to Vaishno Devi and to pay his respects to there. And that will be sometime after the rally tomorrow in Rajouri. That's at 11 a.m. So it's a packed schedule for the Home Minister. It's his third visit, 3 days, third visit after as Home Minister and also after the abrogation of Article 370. We want to move on quickly and bring you up to speed to what is happening over in Afghanistan, ladies and gentlemen. It's shocking and it's a cause for worry for all of us, where 50% of the population is being denied its basic rights not just of education, rights of also liberty, rights of participating in government and of course in public life. Women have taken to the streets in Afghanistan against the Taliban, and the Taliban has only responded with brutality. So much so it's shocking and it's painful that of the 53 people who were killed in a school bombing in Kabul, 48 of them were women and girls and children. So that's the kind of brutality that's also now being meted out. There is no justice. Look at those visuals where Taliban are actually dragging women, pulling them with their burqa and their hijab and their veils, and also beating them up. This is the kind of treatment that is being meted out. Out on the streets, the women have decided that they want a say. They want a say in how their nation progresses, what their nation does, and they cannot be denied. We've got Mursal Nurzai joining us, activist and deputy chair lady in the Jung Union CSU. She's joining us from Germany. Mursal ji, namaste. Very, very shocking visuals that are coming through, but women have said we have had enough. These false promises won't last, and we want what is our right. And in the previous governments, women were active, not just in public life, but even in administration, in policing, in the army. All of that has been taken away from them, even basic right to education.
True. Thank you for having me. I feel a great responsibility by speaking on behalf of 14.5 or 14.5 plus million women of Afghanistan. The tragedy of the story is right now that we do not know who to protect our people from, right? The tragedy of the story is that we do not know whether you are probably well aware that no one has, in the recent event of the attack that happened 3 days ago, no one has taken the responsibility, neither Al-Qaeda, nor the ISIS group, or Taliban. Almost 14 months ago, when Afghanistan was taking over, when Taliban was taking over Afghanistan, and Afghanistan was undergoing a very hard phase again to be handed over to these extremist mindsets. A lot of Afghans, myself, we were saying, and we were emphasizing on the fact that Taliban has not changed. We were emphasizing on the fact that the history is going to repeat itself, and women and children going to survive. And not only women and children of Afghanistan, but the men and the young generation of Afghanistan are going to survive, are going to suffer from such events and from such brutal handover of Afghanistan to such extremist groups. A lot of people were thinking, or a lot of people were hoping that this Taliban, or this is the 2.0 version of Taliban, and they will allow women of Afghanistan to go for education. The children and the youth of Afghanistan will have a better future under their administration, and that it will be a different Afghanistan. I was opposing this ideology. I not only me, but a lot of the activists and my colleagues, we had discussions on this, that how blind one can be to think on the fact that such extremist groups can change themselves. Now, let's come back to the facts that what has happened the last 14 months. We have seen no progression, but today's Afghanistan is an Afghanistan that has gone back or set back 100 years, how it was 100 years ago. The women of Afghanistan are not allowed or are not set free to go for education, to work. The children of Afghanistan are terrorized mentally. The men of Afghanistan are forced that if they support their females, they will be taken in custody and they will be beaten up. Not only that, we can see that these kind of attacks are happening again, focusing on some. The last attack was in the western region of Kabul, in a educational institute of Taj, or forgot the name, Kaj, focusing or at least portraying that it was, it has focused to kill a Shia minority in Afghanistan.
Yes.
What is the impact of such kind of attacks? Let's first of all let's look at the facts. Those were students. Those could be the future of Afghanistan, where they were. They could have they could have come out of the university and become just engineers and make Afghanistan probably a better Afghanistan future, right? Yeah. The second thing is they were students. Why were they attacked? Why? What can you achieve by demolishing, attacking, destroying, killing children and vulnerable students? Yeah. Well, I can only see at this point of time that, okay, you do not want this nation to be educated. You do not want the youngsters, the youth of this country to progress, so that tomorrow's Afghanistan will be in better hands. The third thing, that you want to increase the fear in the hearts and minds of people and parents, so they must not send their children to such institutes to get education. And on the other hand, now no one is taking the responsibility who has attacked that institute. A lot of the times we discuss about that Taliban, Al Qaeda, Khorasan, or let's say the Haqqani groups are probably they come under the same umbrella, or whether or not they are having disputes on who is taking over the power and who will be in charge of the country. Well, they might have their disputes, but to my understanding, they all work together. Yeah. And at this point of time, I think it's very important for them to increase the amount of fear in the minds and hearts of people, to increase dispute between Shia, Sunni, or Hazara and Hazara Afghans, or Pashtun Afghans, or Tajik Afghans. So when people start fighting with each other in the country, like a
they
small
stay
civil
divided
war,
and they cannot
then you
unite
will-
against this tyranny. The other
Exactly.
aspect is they also want to keep people,
Exactly.
women especially, at home. So you step out,
Exactly.
you'll be blown up. So you stay at home and you get regressive. So and you're right. You're saying that in the last 14 months, Afghanistan has slipped a few decades. It's not progressed, but it's not even where it was when the Taliban took over. Musal Nurzai, thank you very much for being so candid. It takes a lot of courage to speak up. Thank you for doing that. With that, we're going to wrap up this edition of The Right Stand. Stay with us. Brass Tags follows.